As we all know, Transformers Rise of the Beast is the first live-action Transformers movie to introduce characters from the Beast Wars continuity. And while Scorponok in Transformers 2007 was meant to be a nod to Beast Wars, it took roughly 16 years, 5 movies, and an entire rebooted continuity for us to see proper Maximals and Predacons in all their glory on the big screen. However, this wasn't always going to be the case, since the idea of a live-action Beast Wars movie has been floating around prior to the release of Age of Extinction in 2014. Now, the Beast Wars film idea that everyone knows about is, to our knowledge, the second pitch for a live-action Beast Wars film. This concept emerged from the production of Transformers The Last Knight, where we got to see a rather interesting reimagining of Optimus Primal and Cheetor, and we also got concept art for some sort of giant metal snake. Although we don't have much information about these concepts, their existence alone tells us that the inclusion of Beast Wars characters in The Last Knight was a topic that was seriously considered during the film's development. However, what I find even more fascinating than these amazing concepts is that there was actually an earlier pitch for a live-action Beast Wars movie, conceptualized sometime after Dark of the Moon hit theaters in 2011. This earlier pitch took a very different approach to integrating the Maximals and Predacons into the Bayverse, one that would have drastically changed the direction of the franchise as a whole, and something that I'm pretty sure the majority of fans would have absolutely hated. You see, according to Rick Alvarez, who was the former creative manager of the Transformers franchise at Hasbro, before Age of Extinction even went into production, Hasbro was exploring some pretty wild ideas for what a fourth Transformers movie could look like. Apparently, Optimus Prime and the Autobots, along with Lennox and Epps, were sent to embark on an extraordinary journey, one that would have taken them back in time. In this pitch, the Autobots would have used some sort of time travel technology to return to an ancient era, where the Allspark in all of its glory was safeguarded by none other than the Dinobots. Once back in time, Optimus Prime would undergo a dramatic transformation, reformatting himself into a gorilla. Meanwhile, Megatron somehow follows them back in time and undergoes a similar transformation, taking on the form of a T-Rex. So yeah, as you guys can see, this idea for a Beast Wars film kinda sucks, since it would have turned Optimus Prime into Optimus Primal and Megatron into Beast Wars Megatron, which would be really weird since Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal are two separate characters, and the same thing goes for Megatron and Megatron. I do have to admit the whole idea of time travel being introduced could have been something very cool to see, especially if it showed the Autobots looking back on the Mission City battle and realizing how far they have come to protect humanity. However, the thing that would have been really interesting to see is how Megatron would have returned, since at the end of Dark of the Moon he was just a decapitated head. So all in all, I'm very glad that this idea never made it to the big screen, since in my opinion the premise here is way worse than what we got in Age of Extinction, and I hate how it wouldn't have done justice to the characters of Optimus Primal and Megatron. The only thing I can praise this draft for, though, is its inclusion of the Dinobots, since if it hadn't pitched them, there's a chance we might have not seen them in Age of Extinction at all. So in the end, it's clear that the path to bringing Beast Wars characters to the big screen has been a long and wild one, filled with both bold ideas and some very questionable decisions. While Transformers Rise of the Beast could have done a better job of how it portrayed its Beast Wars cast, I think we can all be grateful that we got this film over whatever the hell this pitch for a Beast Wars movie was supposed to be.